Well, it's been a very early start for me this morning, and I'm heading to the station because I'm going down to the NEC, to the Delicatessen and Farm Shop show there. Just be interesting to see what bespoke products are available, see if there's anything that might work for us. But one of the main reasons for going is because I'm going to go meet some people who are stocking products that are made entirely in the source country. And that's important to us at We Are Fair Trade. Those of you who were on our initial webinar when we launched would have heard me say there that I think what the Fair Trade Foundation with the Fair Trade logo have achieved has been absolutely brilliant. Really important to raise awareness and to make sure that at least the ingredients in European food products, where possible, are bought at a fair price and attract a fair trade premium, so that farmers and harvesters and so on can make a decent living. It's ennobling. So I don't need to preach that gospel to you. You'll already be familiar with that. But in that webinar, I was making the point that perhaps we can go even further than that. It would be better if more of the processes in making a finished food product were carried out in the source country, so that the profit margin for those processes would also stay there. And that means instead of just the farmer or producer and his family being able to sustain themselves because of the fair trade involvement, that then also roasters and producers and packers and printers could also do well, and that keeps all the money for those processes in the source country instead of those processes being carried out at European price and profit levels. Now, this is not a brand new concept, and for instance, we stock products from Zaytoon, who are making fabulous products that are completely produced on the west bank of the River Jordan, despite all of the trouble and strife and upheaval that's going on in that part of the world. And they're absolutely brilliantly produced products. The products themselves are great, but the packaging is really sharp and well produced and beautiful looking. But that's the way I think the whole thing really needs to go. We've got True Origin, who used to be JTS. They've been bringing things in from Eswatini, and again, they're bringing in finished products. So we're not claiming that this is a new thing, but I do think it's something that we want to emphasize and promote at We Are Fair Trade, because it's even fairer for the people involved than fair trade has enabled them to be so far. Now, of course, it's going to be possible for products to be fair trade and completely made at source. So it's not either or, it's just a natural extension of the direction of travel that's already been going on for many, many years. So there's a few people at this show who are in that category, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to talk to them, interview them, and share some of their thoughts with you through this video. Okay, so made it to the show, and I'm here with Mike from Black Mamba.
Hello.
So Mike, tell us, what are you selling here at this show?
Okay, so we've got the Black Mamba range of sauces, condiments, and also our latest award-winning product, which is the Chili Crunch.
Chili Crunch. Can I try a bit of the Chili
Crunch?
Crunch?
You certainly can.
How do
so
I?
If you grab yourself a little bit of cracker there.
Okay.
And I'll just pop this on.
Is this going to blow my taste buds?
No, it'll blow your taste buds, yeah.
Okay.
So basically you've got a little bit of sunflower seeds in there, a little bit of oil. Basically what you're going to get sweet to start.
Oh yeah.
Then you'll get some heat.
That's coming.
Right. And then after the heat you'll get a little bit of savoury.
I'm still getting the heat.
Yeah. And then you'll get a little bit of savoury in a minute.
Wow.
Yeah. So So it's really good through egg.
Yeah.
It's really good through a salad. I actually put it through baked beans on toast, just to elevate the baked beans. I used to use like Worcester sauce, but now I use this, and it just brings it to another level.
That's got a real kick to it as well. That is phenomenal.
It's a really great product, right?
So where are these made?
So these are all made in Eswatini, which is in southern Africa.
Yeah. That's really good. So a lot of people I know like buying ingredients in the global south, bring it back to Europe, turn it into a fantastic product. So is that what you're doing with these?
No, so all the products are made purely in Eswatini. So they're all sourced and produced locally, and then we export the whole fill product. So the completed product we bring to the UK.
So the bottling, the printing of these labels,
everything is done in Eswatini.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
So why do it that way? Isn't it easier to ship it to the UK? Or
No. I mean literally what we're helping to do is support the local economy, because Africa traditionally was exporting everything and nobody was benefiting. We are working with a group actually called Gruber, and they are an NGO, and they look after and they support the farmers that grow the chilies and grow the spices. So everything's, then we bring in, the bottles are brought in and everything's bottled in-house. So you're basically supporting communities.
So that means the person who's growing, the person who's producing, the bottling, printing, all of that is staying in the source country.
All of it is staying in source country, yeah. 100%.
I absolutely love that. I think that's the next step of fair trade almost, in a way, isn't it?
I think it's massively important.
Keep the profits in the source country.
Well, absolutely. And I think what's really great about it is it's because it's all done there, we just get to enjoy the end product.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about, how do I put this bit together, or my ingredient for this hasn't turned up. No, we just bring the finished product in, and as you've tasted, the finished product is excellent.
It's amazing, actually. I'm just now settling into that that savoury mode that you said there.
Yeah. So, I mean, in the UK here, the pineapple is a really popular sauce.
Yep.
It's great on like gammon, it's great on pancakes.
Whoa.
So it can be savoury or sweet, makes for some great meals.
So we've got pineapple chili, we've got chipotle chili, jalapeno.
Jalapeno.
Peri peri, the chili crunch that I've just had, cayenne chili sauce, I am not going anywhere near that. Habanero, and what are these?
Two pesto. So you've got basil and jalapeno, and you've got basil, cayenne and pesto.
Wow.
Sorry, coriander and jalapeno.
Well, the reason for coming is I'm just wondering about which of these might we want to stock, so I'm going to let my customers see this video and maybe start asking them, but that is amazing. Thanks so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've found Wayne, who's from a company called Lovegrass, based in Ethiopia, and they've got some products I've just never seen before, so I'm going to just ask what these things are and what's special about it. So Wayne, tell me about Lovegrass. What is it for?
Okay, Lovegrass stands for Lovegrass, the scientific name of teff. Teff is one of the tiniest grass seed found in the world, actually, and it is originally from Ethiopia. It looks like this. It's smaller than sand, and it grows in two different colors, white and brown. Although it is the smallest and tiniest grain or grass seed, it is really good for your health. It is high in fiber, high in protein, high in magnesium, manganese, potassium, calcium, actually for your bones, and it has also zinc. So it even has vitamin C in it. So it is good for your gut health because it has a good probiotic. It's good for your sugar level because it's a complex carb. It kind of breaks down slowly.
Right.
And it is naturally gluten-free.
Gluten-free?
Yes.
Wow. Without any processing?
Naturally, it is gluten-free. And we have been eating this in Ethiopia. It's our staple food. We make sourdough flatbread.
Yeah.
Some people do love Ethiopian cuisine, so they might know. So this is why we're doing it, and we grow everything in Ethiopia. We work with cooperative farmers in Ethiopia. We buy it from them. They farm for us, literally. We clean it ourselves, we process it. We have a very big gluten-free dedicated factory in Ethiopia, and it is going to be certified by BRC, British Standard, very soon. We are going through the process. And why we do it is because we want to help people, help ourselves, and then help our farmers, and then make people eat healthier and make it easily accessible to change. Some people make granolas out of this and the grain. We have it in pancake mix, we have it in cereal, and our cereals also have maximum 3 products. We don't use refined sugar. We use freshly pressed cane juice.
Okay.
That is also sourced from the farmers.
So it's super healthy. But
it is.
Where are you getting this packaging from? I mean, that looks fantastic. I love the colors. I like the design. So
the design is ours. This is our. As you can see, maybe some of you have seen Ethiopian church drawings. This is what we look like. Most of Ethiopia looks like this.
Wow.
So this is how, like the women, the design is how we live, like in the rural areas.
And is this literally printed? The cardboard is folded in Ethiopia. You're doing it all at source.
Yes.
That's incredible. I mean, it looks phenomenal. I love it.
So, and then we make snacks out of it also, and we sell the grains and the flour for whomever wants a substitute for baking.
So then, if all of this is being done in Ethiopia, does that mean most of the profits are also staying in Ethiopia as well?
We have a team that works here, and we do serve we try to get a fair share market for our farmers, that they get paid the real price that they deserve for their hard work. So yeah, it goes back.
Absolutely love it. It's a project I've literally never heard of, TEF, but with all those health benefits, that sounds really good. So I'm here sort of on behalf of my customers, so we have an online business, just to let them see some of the things that are out there, to see, well, maybe we should be selling some of those things. But I love the idea of pushing the profits to the source country, where the people doing the hard work get the money. I just think that's great. Thanks so much for talking to us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Also with Jamie McAllister here on the African Kingdom stand. So Jamie, I recognise these because we're selling these already on We Are Fair Trade, aren't they? But just tell us a bit more about the origin of these nuts.
They are manufactured in Mozambique, which is one of the poorest and most troubled countries in the world. And when I say manufactured, they're manufactured to packaging, to fully retail packs. And there are 2 reasons why that's a good thing to do. One is you're creating more jobs and wealth in Mozambique. And the second one is because they are close to the farms. When they're packed, they're a lot fresher than your average cashew nut, which tend to go all over the world.
Good point. So within a very short journey from the field, it's in this and sealed in the foil. Really good. And what else have you got on here that we should have a look at?
We've got Mia chocolate. So Mia stands for Made in Africa. We're representing them as well at the show, and these are made in Ghana. So very similar story. I mean, in particular, what they worked out in terms of their impact is that they get about 3 times the value per kilogram by making the product in Ghana, as opposed to just selling the cocoa. So it's about 3 times.
Okay, and tell me about the flavours that you've got here.
Okay, so we've got a range of flavours in terms of the percentage of cocoa, starting off at the top end with 85% dark chocolate, and then we've got 2 at 73%, one of which has salt and nibs, which is a quite distinctive flavour, and then we've got what's called a milk chocolate. It's still quite a lot of dark chocolate, but it's made milky by the addition of cashew butter.
Ooh, okay. So Ghana produces an awful lot of the cocoa that goes into chocolate generally, isn't it? But this is all, again, made in Ghana, produced fully in Ghana.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Africa in general has about 70% of the cocoa in the world comes out of Africa.
Right.
But the vast majority of it goes to manufacturers outside of Africa. So they get quite a small proportion of the total value of the product goes into Africa.
Lovely, and that's why we've got MIA then, Made in Africa.
Made in Africa, exactly, yeah.
That is brilliant. Really, really good.
Can I tell you about these ones as well?
Yeah,
Just to finish off. So these ones are Entuntunu, which is Ugandan. They come from Uganda for a dried Cape gooseberry.
Right.
Also known as physalis. So
yes.
When they're not dried, they're a yellow berry, which you sometimes get as a garnish.
Yes.
With a dessert in this country. They're full of vitamins of all kinds, and they're like a tangy raisin. And those are processed in Africa. Currently, we're repacking them in the UK, but the plan is to pack them also in Uganda.
Yeah. Okay. And it was in conversation with you, this is where we got talking about this whole, Fairmade and Made in Africa. So what's driving you about this? Why are you so passionate about it?
We lived in Uganda for a couple of years. I met a guy who had an agribusiness there. We were also involved in a business school there. And what became most clear to me when my time out there was the best way to address poverty, or one of the best ways to address poverty in Africa, is to create more value in Africa through manufacturing. Essentially it's building the economy, which then goes on to provide support for communities as well. But the main thing is you're becoming less dependent on aid, which has its consequences, and creating more value, which is pretty much how Asia, countries like China have managed to up the game in terms of their economies.
Definitely. Yeah, so trade, not aid, absolutely sold on that.
Yep.
But you're trying to get more of the layers of profit to stay in the source country.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not just trade, it's also, I mentioned with the chocolate, it's about 3 times the value. With cashew nuts, it's even higher. Something up to about eight times the value can be created by selling a finished pack out of Africa rather than buying the raw material, the cashew.
Okay, so just explain that then. So when you say 8 times the value, 8 times what?
The price per kilogram.
Okay.
So you pay 8 times the price per kilogram to buy one of these out of Africa, and then you add local margins on top of that. When they sell their cashew nuts, which are often unshelled, they're an eighth of that, and they tend to get sent to Asia for further processing, and eventually come to Europe for further processing.
So if buying the cashew nuts just as an ingredient was leaving 5p in the country, you're saying doing it this way, that puts 40p into the... Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. That's a serious difference.
Translate that into jobs, if you think there's something like 10 million smallholder cocoa farmers, if you can multiply that by a factor of 3, we're talking quite big numbers in terms of employment.
That's really remarkable, isn't it? Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. Well, that's been a really, really interesting experience. I just love the passion that some of the people are showing for helping families in their home country prosper. And it seems obvious in a way that, do it all in the source country and more people will benefit. So I think it feels to me like the fair trade movement is ready for the next move, the next leap forward, the next gear change, if you like. That buying ingredients at a fair and agreed price, that is massively, massively important. And you can see in a way that's established a platform, hasn't it, where we think about how fair the trade is in various products and areas. But this just seems like the next step to me, to say, okay, why just sell the ingredients to Europe when you can actually make the whole product? And the thing that's amazing to me is the quality as well. It's not like you say, well, you have to tolerate a slightly lower quality of packaging or slightly clunky colors or even not the most sophisticated product inside the packaging. It's all amazing. It's just really top notch. So I'm very, very excited about that, and I'm hoping that we will be able to start stocking some of these products. We just need to find out if an English palate can get on with some of those products, but we'll find a way of testing that. And I think we could be onto something here.